Well, hi there. I'm Cosmic Carrie Star, and I am the founder and the developer of the Miracle Embrace. So glad you're here. I have something so delightful to share with you and the world, and I can't wait to get the message out there and to have you smiling ear to ear, knowing you have just found something indeed miraculous. This is an embrace, and it's a very amazing embrace. I discovered it 14 years ago. And I'd had a lifetime of not having much luck with intimacy with men. I, in fact, became my own poster child because I literally had physical intimacy about 10 times over the course of 25 years. So it was pretty bad, and there's others like me, but that was my situation. I had trouble with intimacy. I couldn't seem to get it across to men what I wanted and how to show them what I wanted, and they seemed to not know. And so that was the problem. I shut down. I'd become kind of isolated and not dating, obviously, until 14 years ago when I started doing this as a career. I'd wanted to start when I was 17, but I was having sacred experiences. They were off the chart, and I'd never heard of them out there in society. It was unknown, right? They weren't broadcasting it out there in society. So I wondered, I'm having these incredibly exquisite experiences, and I'm wondering what the heck's wrong with society. The spirit voice said, you go do whatever you want to in your life, and we're going to wake you up halfway through your life, and then you'll get to your real mission. So I happily went off. Golly, I ended up getting married kind of early. And after the first year of being married, boom, the honeymoon was over. I had no idea how to regain the intimacy with my husband. That relationship went downhill and sank, and we ended up divorced. This is very common, even with relationships where they start out, very much in love. So if you're feeling that you would like to restore the intimacy, you would like to restore the passion and desire, you've come to the right place. Are you in a relationship where you actually love and care about each other, but it's perhaps become a little bit more like roommates, or it's started fading away? The spark just isn't there anymore. The romance that started out isn't there. It's gone. Maybe it's dead and gone, and you're wondering, will it ever come back? If we don't bring it back, the truth is men start to wander because they're not going to live without it. That is the typical response of men. That is why there's so much going on in the way of extramarital affairs. That's not a good answer for this situation, and no one seems to have the answer. Marriage counselors, therapists, even the most popular ones have never discovered the miracle embrace. And I hope they do. I would like to talk to them all, because women's passion and desire comes back instantaneously in one sitting. And once they get it back, they can have it anytime they want, because it's simple and easy, and women know they can be fulfilled from that point on. A lot of women feel that they're not even interested in trying anymore. They don't even want to approach the subject because they don't feel respected. They don't feel honored. They don't feel seen, heard, or cherished. And what's the point, right? If you don't feel those things, you don't even want to be close to your man. What this embrace does is it takes the two hearts, the male and the female, brings them together, and they fuse. It's like a fusion. It's like an implosion. And what emerges is unconditional love. It's a divine light. I don't want to turn you off by the woo-woo language, but I do use quite a bit of woo-woo language because I've been in the spiritual healing kind of arts most of my life. So forgive me for that. This is really very basic. It's heart connection. It's intimacy, 100% intimacy, pure saturation for you, head to toe intimacy, where there is nothing left out. You couldn't even hold anymore. And I teach the men through my video and through my book and through private coaching, if you like. I teach those men to hold on to you and let you indulge in that heart merging intimacy like you're at a banquet. Like You were a starving dog all your life at a banquet, and to not stop until you've had your fill. And for some ladies, their first time might last anywhere from 10 or 15 minutes to a couple hours. And the men get enthralled with it also. There is as much fulfillment as for the men as for the women, but it is the woman's power center in the heart. So women naturally have more interest in their heart than the man does. His interest, as we all know, is mostly down below, and they have a hard time listening and really taking in how vitally important the heart thing is, because it's disappeared almost without a trace in society to the point where women can barely remember it. I've never met anybody that knew how to do this embrace. And every single woman that does it, when I'm directing them and I make sure they get it right, is blown away. So they feel that heart connection, and it is the one missing thing they've been wanting all their lives that somehow just fell away from their reality. It didn't even exist anymore as a possibility. But when the women are denied of this throughout their marriages or throughout their lives, they are looking for this. And so when a man starts giving a woman a lot of attention, they start feeling a heart fulfillment or a potential of a heart fulfillment. But it's usually like what they got in their marriage that was unfulfilling, or long-term relationship, that once it got settled in, it went downhill. And we don't want that anymore. There's so much more available. When you get to learn the miracle embrace, it's going to go uphill. It's going to get better and better and better. And that first try is really, really good. You found something that is so fulfilling that it's going to rock your world. You feel it the first time. As long as both partners can follow the instructions and open to each other. It's incredible. It's always just gotten better for me. And the women, when they do it, they report the exact same things as I've felt. And that's how I know this is part of our natural design. Our world has destroyed our natural design. And you might say, why? Well, that's a very good question. I'm not sure I could come up with an answer that would fulfill everybody's understanding and satisfy everyone. But from what I understand, we came in to test ourselves, to discover the depths of our ability to survive challenges, to develop our will, to develop our brains, to be persistent, to develop all of these aspects of our personalities that would never get challenged to that depth unless we were put to the test. And so that goes on for many, many thousands of years. Our ancestors, it's in our DNA. We've been traumatized, hurt terribly by the way this world has been towards us. And the women were hurt worse because it was them especially that held the power of the heart, which is the greatest power we have as human beings. We were targeted. And now it's time that we are living in a great time of change, that we can actually create a new earth. Now, a lot of you have probably heard that. It may sound new agey, but it's in the Bible, in Revelations, that we'll create a new heaven and new earth. And we are in that challenge right now, in this very moment that you're listening to this. We are in it. And it started just about within the last 10 to 20 years. I don't know exactly, but that's the time frame. And so we are being immersed in a new energy now. Before we were in a masculine dominant mode, and we were going into all of these challenges that were very, very, very difficult. We've turned the corner after that long, long era. And we're being infiltrated with love. Love is coming back. You could say it's the return of the divine feminine. You could say it's the return of the goddess. You could say it's the return of love. But we are on our way back now to balancing the power of the feminine heart with the power of the masculine genitals. And that, my folks, creates the yin yang. Have you heard of the yin yang? It is that black, that circle that represents magnetic energy of opposites. And those opposites are the masculine and feminine magnetic poles. And they chase each other, creating energy. The only problem is they need to and are supposed to be, and were created to be, balanced. We all know that the masculine has dominated. And now, how do we bring back the feminine power? The masculine gets his power and his fulfillment and satisfaction in life when he enters the feminine portal of the female genitals. The female gets her balance and satisfaction and polarity and fulfillment in life. She lives for getting her energy fully inside the man's chest, from her heart to his chest. So therein lies the problem. We do not get a full connection into the man's chest because they're literally taught not to do that in order to be a stronger masculine during the past era. And so our energy never got fulfilled. I don't care if it was you or the happy couple next door or the fighting couple on the other side or your parents or your grandparents or the ancestors before that. They were not having this connection. The women were not. They were struggling and suffering worse than the men. The men were favored during that time, and we all know that. And that time is over. Now, ladies, it's up to you. If you will do the miracle embrace, you will feel your heart energy enter the male fully. And this is the only thing I have ever found in my 64 years of being alive that has women saying, I feel absolutely equal to the man. In my soul, in my bones, the women are accessing their original design that got shunned away, shut down, repressed, oppressed, ignored, minimalized. Use whatever word makes sense to you. Destroyed. Almost. But we're still here, and we're here for the celebration, ladies, because when you feel this energy, you recognize it. This is the thing your little girl dreams were made of. With all those Disney princesses, Cinderella, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, they are all part of this design. I will talk about those in the shows to come. We'll have guests on here. We'll have people giving their testimonies. And when this gets to be a bigger thing, we're going to have lots more ladies that are going to be dying to share their stories. I do have a book and a video. They will be for sale where you can just buy that and get yourself taught and come on here and ask questions. I'll have some meetup groups available. So I want to make sure that you are supported in every way possible. I want to share this joy with you more than anything. It makes me turn into a puddle of goo, like I can hardly stand the happiness it brings me when you are able to experience this. It's everything it means to be a woman, to be able to have this fulfillment. It's the equivalent for a man of him having sex, and he would never put up with not having it. Yet, we women have put up with a lifetime of not having it. For you happiest ladies and you who feel that you are exquisitely fulfilled and you're one of the lucky ones, you may be up here where the rest of most women are down here, just trying to find happiness. But you, starting at this level, are going to go up here. I love you all. I'm going to let that be a wrap up for now. Be sure to tune in and we'll be talking soon. Bye.